Men, nice to talk to you. Thanksgiving's coming up. We have a lot to look forward to, and a lot of gifts that we take for credit. So.
Hey, Les, I wanted to ask you about just kind of the numbers for this week. Obviously, you didn't get to play last week. Do you guys have the numbers you need to meet those thresholds, and you confident that you'll be able to play this week?
Yeah, right now, I would guess that we would have the numbers to play this week, and we're looking forward to it, to be honest. So,
how did you guys kind of alter what you typically would do on a game week once that game got canceled? How did things change for practices, and how did you all handle everything?
We went to, first of all, we were preparing for a different opponent. We went to the next opponent than TCU, and we started we had a practice on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And certainly we were not fortunate enough to have all of our team there to practice, but we did half line, we did small groups, we did big groups, the same kind of practice we'll have today. My opinion, very effective, not ideal, but very effective. We're going to get coached what we need to get coached.
And then I just want to ask you about you made a change on the coaching staff with your offensive line. When you make a change like that with 3 games left, is there a hope that, something can be accomplished or it'll affect the way you play in any way?
Well, I'm going to go beyond what was the message that I delivered on Friday, but we just felt like there was an opportunity to promote John Marukian and find out exactly what his view of line play is. And I like his background. I like who he is. And so as I said, we decided to go in another direction, and then turned our attentions to Marukian and see if we could help him kind of get started.
What have you seen from him so far in just his first few days working with the O-line?
He jumped right in there. Line coaches have the propensity to be right in their huddle and right around, and that was Marukian. He did a good job. Did a really good job.
Hey, Coach. Just on that change, did you actually make the change on Friday? And when did you make the decision that a change did need to be made? What day?
Well, we made it before that, I'm sure, but it certainly was a tough decision to make, but we wanted our team to have the opportunity to improve and get better, and just felt like going in another direction was the thing to do.
Coach, you had mentioned that you wanted to see John Marukian sort of to see what he can do in terms of line development. Now, is his title an interim tag, or is it on a more permanent basis?
No, it's an interim tag, and a guy who played at Toledo, coached at Indiana, Iowa State. We're looking forward to seeing him, kind of take the remainder of this week and the next 2, and see what kind of coach he is.
Hey, when you guys go so long in between games, it's going to be 3 weeks by the time you get to Saturday night. How do you avoid rust? Because this is kind of out of the ordinary.
I swear I didn't hear you. Try it again.
All right. You're going 3 weeks in between games. That's really out of the ordinary. How do you avoid rust with your team?
We'll take game week segments and prepare along offense, defense, and special teams. We're looking forward to, all of the same things I just mentioned, the opportunity to take small groups and work them in a position that will give them an opportunity to improve. And we will use game weeks and game week, like for instance, today is going to be a Monday, surprisingly enough. And we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is an off day. We will use those same pieces as we did last week, just so that we can teach and teach best.
Hey, Les, I wanted to ask you about a couple of your guys up front. How's Chris Hughes doing? How's he doing?
Chris Hughes has got himself a little nick, and I hope he can return.
What would it mean to your unit to have him back, and what's his relationship like with his new coach on the O-line?
I know his relationship with the old coach, me, is very good. And so I think he'll step in there and enjoy being a part of our team as soon as we can get him back. I hope that we can.
Have you done any more work with the O-line of late, just because you have kind of a new guy stepping in? Have you become more involved with that?
I am kind of equally involved. I never stepped away fully. So.
Hey, Les, with Marukian coming in, what's the expectation? I mean, is 3 games enough to show that he can change things up that quick?
No, it's an understanding that he'll have some time to get this done, but this will be in my opinion, a nice format for he and I to describe and discuss about football, and that's all. I think he's a step forward. But again, he's going to give us some different experiences that he's had, and I look forward to working alongside him for a little bit.
Yeah, Coach, just to follow up on that, I guess as you two are going through this process, is this under the assumption that you're looking for a new line coach, or is this some sort of like a tryout of some sort?
No, it's not a tryout. We're gonna, I'm gonna see the things that he deem as important as an offensive line coach, and I'm going to help him get those things accomplished as best we can in a short term.
Hey, Les, I know things are probably really hard for the players in terms of just managing all the COVID protocol and this whole season. How have you seen them hold up in the midst of kind of a disappointing year? Have there been maybe any slipping with some of those rules that you guys have put in place?
Yeah, I don't know about the rules in place, but I think our guys have handled this. I think they're very resilient. I think they want to have a team that is special, and I think the fight is certainly in there. We have to get that spring ball back. We have to get some of these players in line to lead. And I think our football team can be special, but that's just me.
Yeah, and then just to follow up on that, around the country, you're seeing a pretty good number of guys go in the portal, including right down the road. That really hasn't been a huge issue for you guys. How have you kept this team together to this point?
Well, I think our coaching staff's done a magnificent job as well. I think the relationship that you have with your team speaks to how they'll respond in points in times of crisis. I don't know exactly how you view this year, but I would have to think that this team, even though they've struggled at times, have handled this calendar and what this calendar brought very well.
Les, how's Jalen Daniels' health doing?
He practiced all last week. He'll practice this week. We'd expect him to be certainly a player.
Hey, Les, you guys have a lot of seniors on the roster, and this year with the NCAA giving a waiver, you could potentially bring some guys back. Have you given a lot of thought to that? And just maybe how are you going to handle that process?
Well, it's the style of thing that we're going to get involved with our players, but the next 3 weeks are the things that I'm really concerning myself with, these games and the opportunity at victory, and after that's done, I will have addressed a preliminary reach out, and then after, kind of sit down and find out exactly what they want and how they want this time frame to expire.
So have you haven't had any of those discussions with seniors yet? You're going to wait till the season's over?
Well, no, I've had some of those discussions, but I'm going to wait until I do a final run through, and until it's down the road some.
Les, obviously a lot of teams are going through troubles with COVID, but it seems like opt-outs are up as well. Can you give us a sense of how much that has affected you guys and your numbers?
I think that there's probably been 5 or 6 that I would say have opted out and are looking for an opportunity to, and again, without knowing the exact number, I think that they're some of which may want to opt back in. So in any event, we're going to communicate with them as best we can.
Is that 5 or 6 just a recent thing, or is that based off the numbers we know already?
Yeah, I think that's I think there's some of that has passed. I think there's a number of guys that have opted out.
Can you give us a sense of how you'll handle that? Guys that don't want to play the rest of the season, will those guys be welcomed back next year if this was something that they wanted to set up?
Yeah, we would encourage a lot of these guys we would encourage them to be a part of this team because they're pretty special guys and they've given us great leadership. Now, that needs to meet with their satisfaction, and we'll certainly carry the need to be with our guys and communicate and make sure that we know exactly where we're at.
Hey, Coach, can you talk briefly just about TCU, maybe what you see from them and kind of some of the things you think you'll need to prepare for on Saturday?
Yeah, Gary Patterson is a fine coach and doing a great job there, and I have the good fortune to know him, and they got a quarterback that is, in my opinion, Max Duggan is a run pass guy that can do both, and 6'2", 200 pounds, good, big, strong, tough guy who leads the team. Wide receiver Barber, 5'9", 185, but real nifty hands, really capable player. And linebacker number 30, Garrett Wallow, 6'2", 230 pounds, gets to the ball, brings contact when he does. Good football team. Again, Gary Patterson is not going to put a football team on the field this late in his career at that place. He's capable.
Hey, Les, real quick, can you discuss your overall depth right now at offensive line and defensive line as you head into this week? Just in a general sense.
Yeah, our defensive line will be back, so we're looking forward to them returning to the field, and our offensive line is not necessarily in the same position, but we feel like they'll have a good practice week and bring it to the field.
All right, thanks everyone. We'll be back with some players shortly.